Australia's big social media gamble is making headlines around the world as the country takes a bold step into uncharted territory. Australia stands at a digital crossroads, weighing a groundbreaking law that would ban all children under 16 from using the most popular social media platforms. This move could reshape how young people interact online and how families manage technology at home. Imagine a world where TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat are suddenly off limits to millions of young teens. For many, these apps are a daily part of life, a way to connect, share, and express themselves. The law, which was passed in November 2024 after months of heated debate, is set to take effect on December 10, 2025. Lawmakers say this gives families, schools, and tech companies time to prepare for sweeping changes. It's one of the boldest attempts by any Western country to curb social media's influence on kids. Supporters argue it's a necessary step to protect the next generation from the harms of the digital world. The goal? To build a digital fence that shields children from online dangers like cyberbullying, exposure to inappropriate content, and the growing mental health pressures linked to social media use. But the path forward is far from simple. Critics warn that such a sweeping ban raises tough questions about freedom of expression, privacy, and whether it will actually work in practice. Some worry it could push kids to riskier corners of the internet. Social media giants now face a stark choice: overhaul their operations to comply with the new rules, or risk massive fines of up to $50 million AUD. The pressure is on for tech companies to find new ways to verify users' ages and protect young people online. The law specifically targets photo and video sharing apps, but makes exceptions for messaging, education, and healthcare platforms, acknowledging that not all digital spaces are created equal. As the deadline approaches, the nation is deeply divided. Some parents and experts believe this will finally protect kids from online harm, while others fear it could create new problems, from digital exclusion to increased family conflict. The world is watching closely as Australia prepares for a major social experiment, one that could set a precedent for countries everywhere. The government's push to protect young minds. In recent years, concerns about the mental health of young people have grown louder, with parents, teachers, and health experts all sounding the alarm. The government has responded with a bold move: a ban on social media for those under 16. Rising anxiety, depression, and body image issues among teens have put social media in the spotlight. Experts point to endless scrolling, online comparisons, and the pressure to present a perfect life as major contributors to these problems. The government believes removing these platforms will ease pressure and give kids space to grow. They hope that, without the constant digital noise, children will rediscover the joys of real-world friendships, play, and learning. Cyberbullying is relentless, no longer ending at the school gate but following kids home 24/7. Hurtful messages, exclusion, and harassment can now reach children at any hour, making it harder for them to find peace or escape. Officials argue platforms haven't done enough to stop toxic behavior. Despite promises of better moderation, harmful content and bullying still slip through the cracks, leaving vulnerable kids exposed. The ban aims to shield children from harassment and harmful content, including violence and dangerous trends. From viral challenges that encourage risky behavior to exposure to graphic material, the risks are real and growing. Algorithms keep kids hooked, exposing them to risks they're not ready for. These platforms are designed to be addictive, drawing children in for hours and making it hard for them to disconnect. By setting a hard age limit, the government says kids under 16 aren't equipped to handle these dangers. They argue that young minds need time to develop resilience and critical thinking before facing the online world. Screen addiction is another concern. Kids spend more time online, less time with family or outdoors. This shift affects their physical health, sleep, and even their ability to connect with others face-to-face. The hope: less scrolling, more real-world engagement, and healthier habits. Supporters believe the ban could help children rediscover hobbies, sports, and meaningful relationships away from screens. Critics say it's drastic, but supporters see it as a necessary reset. The move has sparked passionate debate, with some calling it government overreach and others insisting it's long overdue. The debate: protect kids, or overstep parental rights? As the nation watches, the question remains, is this the best way to keep young people safe? Or does it go too far in controlling their lives? So how will Australia actually enforce this ambitious ban on social media for kids under 16? The answer is more complicated than you might think, and it's sparking debate across the country. The government has ruled out using official IDs like passports or driver's licenses, citing major privacy risks and the potential for sensitive data to be leaked or misused. Many parents and privacy advocates agree, handing over such personal information online just isn't worth the risk. Instead, the government is turning to technology. They're piloting facial age estimation, where artificial intelligence scans a user's face through their device's camera and estimates their age in seconds. This happens during the sign-up process for social media platforms. If the AI determines you're under 16, you'll be blocked from creating an account, no exceptions. This could mean instant rejection for some, and frustration for others who feel wrongly flagged. Developers claim the process is fast and secure. Images are analyzed in real time and then deleted immediately, so there's no permanent record. But some experts still worry about what happens if the system is hacked or misused. Right now, Australian students are participating in trials, overseen by the UK-based Age Check certification scheme. These tests are designed to see how accurate and fair the technology really is, and whether it can handle the diversity of real-world users. Other age-checking methods, like analyzing how someone types or the shape of their hand, are being explored too. But these alternatives are still in early stages and not as reliable as facial scanning. The government's approach shifts responsibility from parents to tech companies, making them the gatekeepers. This is a big change, and it's forcing the tech industry to rethink how they protect young users. Privacy concerns haven't gone away. Critics argue that even with safeguards, facial recognition could be abused or misapplied. Still, the government is betting that this technology is the best way to make the ban effective. The stakes are high for tech companies. If they fail to comply, they could face massive fines, potentially millions of dollars. This financial pressure is meant to ensure they take the new rules seriously. But the big question remains, will this digital bouncer really keep kids out, or will it just push them to find new ways around the system? Only time will tell if this bold experiment will succeed. Facial age estimation sounds smart, but is it reliable? Accuracy is a major issue. AI can misjudge age, especially for girls, people of color, and transgender youth. Companies may set the system to be overly cautious, blocking even legal users. Frustration could rise as 16 and 17-year-olds are wrongly denied access. Privacy concerns persist. Many distrust promises that facial data is instantly deleted. Critics warn this normalizes biometric surveillance and could lead to more invasive monitoring. Determined teens might still outsmart the system, using photos, older siblings, or digital tricks. The advisory board admits, not enough testing has been done to see if kids can bypass it. If the tech is easily fooled, the entire plan could collapse. Is this a real solution, or just a digital speed bump for tech-savvy teens? The ban's rollout is clouded by secrecy. In August 2024, the government commissioned a major study on public attitudes toward age verification. Over 3,000 adults and nearly 900 children were surveyed. The report was delivered in January 2025, but hasn't been released. Critics suspect the findings weren't favorable, fueling distrust. If the public supported the plan, why hide the results? This lack of transparency undermines trust and raises questions about democratic accountability. The government is making a huge decision without sharing crucial information. Privacy advocates demand the report's release before the law takes effect. The silence only deepens suspicion and controversy. Can the ban actually keep kids off social media? Tech-savvy teens already use VPNs and fake birth dates to bypass age limits. Facial scanning may help, but kids could use parents' devices or older friends to get around it. Studies show most underage kids on social media had parental help setting up accounts. Many parents ignore or disagree with age limits, and that's unlikely to change. Pushing kids off mainstream platforms could drive them to riskier, less regulated corners of the internet. The ban might make things worse, not better, by making online activity harder to monitor. Is this protection, or just pushing the problem out of sight? The ban raises tough ethical questions. Is it right to use biometric surveillance on children, even for their safety? Critics say it erodes privacy and normalizes constant monitoring from a young age. The law shifts responsibility from parents to tech companies and government. Some argue it's like seatbelts for the internet. Others say it weakens family roles and digital literacy. Data security is a major worry. Face scans could be hacked or misused. Even if risks are small, the consequences could be huge. Does the benefit outweigh the ethical and security risks? The ban has split public opinion. Some parents welcome government help in managing screen time and online risks. Others see it as government overreach, preferring education and open communication. Privacy concerns about facial scanning are widespread. Tech companies warn the ban could push kids to less safe platforms and isolate vulnerable youth. For some, social media is a lifeline for support and community. Child safety advocates and mental health experts are divided. Some call for bold action, others for more education and mental health resources. Critics say the ban is a blunt tool for a complex problem. Supporters see it as a necessary shield. The debate continues. Protect kids or trust families to decide. No easy answers, just passionate arguments on both sides. As the December 2025 deadline nears, uncertainty reigns. The government's goal, protecting kids from social media harms, is widely supported. But the solution is risky, unreliable technology, secrecy, and possible unintended consequences. If the ban is easily bypassed, it could create a false sense of security and push kids to more dangerous online spaces. Critics warn it may leave teens unprepared for digital life at 16. Australia could set a global precedent or become a cautionary tale. The world is watching to see if this digital wall protects children or just builds new problems. The outcome remains uncertain, but the stakes couldn't be higher.